Good evening, everyone. I would like to reconvene the board meeting of the Mount Diablo Unified School District. Today is October 15th. We did the roll call earlier and everyone was present. For the preliminary business under 6.1, the first item is the land acknowledgement. We recognize that the Mount Diablo Unified School District sits on the territory of the Confederated Villages of the Lasan, the ancestral and unceded land of the Bay Miwok and Northern Yokut, the successors of the sovereign Verona Band of Contra Costa County. As members of the Mount Diablo Unified School District community, it is vitally important that we not only recognize the history of the land on which we learn, but we recognize that the land we inhabit and learn on is the ancestral land of these great people who are alive and flourishing members of the Mount Diablo Unified School District and the broader Bay Area communities today. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. So now, and our student trustee, Barrera Oriana, has joined us for the meeting. All right. First, we have the review and approval of the minutes for the previous meeting.
I move to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting held September 24th, 2025.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion by trustee Mason with a second by trustee McDougall to approve the meeting minutes of September 24th, 2025. Let's see. And what is the opinion of our trustee Veriana Oriana?
I vote yes for the meeting minutes.
We have two that haven't voted. Scroll all the way up.
No, it's up here, but it says 6.2 Pledge of Allegiance and it says 4.1 adjourned to closed session. It's like two different meetings.
Got Brian.
I have the 6.3, but Brian, you clicked on. Yeah, I just checked it.
Careful. The motion is adopted 5-0-0-0 with support from our student trustee. We're ready to move on to review and approval of the agenda. Dr. Clark, are we making any adjustments in the agenda?
Yes, Madam President, I would like to pull item 1415 and bring it back at a later time.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the agenda with the changes suggested by Dr. Clark.
Second.
So we have a motion by trustee Mason with a second by trustee Lawrence to approve the agenda with item 1415 being pulled. Is there further discussion? Trustee Barrera Oriana, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. And the motion to approve the agenda is adopted on a 5-0-0-0 vote with support from our student. Next item is the report out of action taken in closed session. For 7.1, for the liability claim, Carolyn Falk, the board met in closed session by a vote of 5-0, voted to reject a liability claim for damages pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.95 by Carolyn Falk against the Mount Diablo Unified School District. And for existing litigation, the board met in closed session with legal counsel to discuss a matter of existing litigation pursuant to Government Code 54956.9 by a vote of 5-0 in the matter of Bailey versus Mount Diablo Unified School District, U.S. District Court, ND, California, case number 324-CB-00188. CRB, the board gave direction to the general counsel. And in closed session by a vote of 5-0 with no abstention, the board took action to approve the resignation of one employee per a separation agreement. And then we will move on to 7.2, which is the stipulated expulsion agreement for student 6-26. Mr. Lawrence.
Madam President, I move that the board approve the stipulated expulsion agreement for student 0626. Prior to readmission, student 0626 is required to meet the following conditions. 1, student must not enter the grounds of any district school at any time for any purpose. 2, student will not attend any school-sponsored activities, whether on or off campus. 3, student will complete his coursework through attendance at the Opportunity Program at Horizons. 4, student will complete 15 hours of counseling. 5, student will demonstrate a successful school experience, which includes no violations of school rules and education codes 48,900, 48,915, or district rules and regulations. Satisfactory academic progress, earn a minimum of 45 credits, and satisfactory attendance, 80% attendance and no excessive tardies. 6, student must not commit any expellable offenses as defined under the education code, and move to, that's it.
I'll second that motion.
So we have motion by trustee Lawrence with a second by trustee McDougall regarding the stipulated expulsion agreement for student 6-26. Is there further discussion? Because this is a closed session item, our student trustee doesn't vote on this item, so please vote when the information pops up. And the motion is adopted on a 5-0-0-0 vote regarding the stipulated expulsion agreement for student 6-26. Thank you, board. We're ready for public comment. Do we have any public comment? All right. We will move on to communications. Mrs. Ortega, welcome to the podium.
Thank you. I hope everybody had a wonderful fall break, because I know I did. That's nice. You can hear me, right?
A little
Closer?
closer.
Okay, closer.
Thank you.
Good evening, President Mayo, trustees, Dr. Clark, members of the audience, and those who are watching online. My name is Linda Ortega, and I am the president of the Mount Diablo Education Association, representing over 1,600 Mount Diablo Unified School District educators. We are the largest bargaining unit in the district who educate and support our students in over 50 school sites. Today, I would like to talk about trust. Trust is an important word in our line of work. When parents drop their children off at school every day, they trust that their teachers are going to teach them well and that all children will be safe at school. They trust that the classrooms will be ready for their students and well maintained. When a teacher gets hired by MDUSD, they trust that they will be working in a supportive environment and respected as professionals. The board puts their trust in district leadership to manage the district well in the best interest of students and build a culture of respect for all employees. Managers trust that teachers are professionals and that they will work to ensure a great education for all students, and that we too will create a professional working and learning environment. And as teachers, we have to be able to trust that the district leadership will empower us as professionals and respect us for our tireless work to the district and our students. We trust when we come back to work at the beginning of the school year, our classrooms will be ready to teach in and well maintained. Trust. Somewhere along the way, trust has been broken because every day I hear from my members that they do not feel supported by the district to do their jobs and that they do not feel respected by the district. Every member of the district's leadership team bears some responsibility in building our culture of trust that is felt by your educators. From every vice principal to the superintendent, and even the governing board. Trust can be hard to maintain throughout the bargaining process, but it's not impossible, particularly if you have relationships grounded by mutual respect. Throughout the last year, time and time again, teachers have been shown that is not the case. Trust. From classrooms that are missing ceiling tiles to lack of teacher support on school sites to being openly dismissed by leaderships at public events, your educators are feeling disrespected and unable to trust. Facts do matter. And as a teacher, so let's get into some of these facts. California is the state with the highest teacher pay, but we are also the state with the highest cost of living. The Bay Area is also one of the highest cost of living regions and the highest cost of living state. When you adjust for the cost of living, California's pay falls in the rankings, with the top states being Virginia, Utah, and Washington. Your teachers love the community we teach. We are proud of the work that we do. That is why we hold ourselves to high professional standards. Many of us have gone above and beyond their bachelor's degrees and their teaching credentials. I myself have a master's degree, which I have done over the weekends and have sacrificed family time to gain that knowledge. MDUSD has educators who have advanced degrees in education and some who also have doctorates, law degrees, and medical degrees, among others. Our students are fortunate to have professional and well-educated teachers in their classrooms. Many of our educators could be doing work in other high-paid industries, but they choose to teach because they love to teach. We are just asking that our love of teaching be respected and not taken advantage of. If the goal of the district is to continue to employ highly qualified educators, then you need to compensate for our work and professional development. Please do not disregard the hard work and education that our educators have done over the years so that they can provide our students with the best education possible. I would hope you would agree that our students do deserve the best education. And who else is better qualified than an experienced and well-educated teacher? I would like to also remind the parents who may be listening that your teachers want what's best for your children. Every teacher enters into this profession because we believe in the power of education. Many of our educators could have entered another profession, but we believe that a great teacher can make a difference in the lives of children. I would also like to state again that our educators are dedicated members of our community and schools. Many of us live in the communities we teach, and that's what we choose. They are committed to ensuring each student is successful. As we continue with our negotiations, I want to remind the trustees that you have educators who are worried they won't be able to keep up with the rising costs of living. I do want to thank Trustee Lawrence for suggesting that the district hold a budget information meeting. An open process to look at the budget is one way we can rebuild trust. And I understand that you have to work within the constraints of your own district budget. But I'm standing here before you now to say your teachers need support. They need respect. They need you all to lead in a way that rebuilds trust. Please, Governing Board, direct your bargaining team to negotiate in good faith and settle a fair contract with your educators. And after this is done, direct your district management to build a district that is grounded in trust and respect for its employees. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Clark, we're ready to move on to recognitions and resolutions. 10.1 is the approval of the resolution 2526-25 in support of Red Ribbon Week.
Thank you very much, Madam President. I'm excited to bring forward this resolution in support of Red Ribbon Week for the year 2025. Whereas since 1998, there has been an ongoing commitment to raise awareness of killing and destruction caused by drugs in America. And whereas prevention education efforts by the Mount Diablo Unified School District and its community partners demonstrates their commitment to drug-free lifestyles, no use of illegal drugs, no illegal use of legal drugs. And whereas it is the goal of Red Ribbon Week and the Mount Diablo Unified School District to promote an atmosphere that supports awareness, education, and ongoing initiatives to prevent illegal drug use. So now be it further resolved that the governing board of the Mount Diablo Unified School District urges its students, parents, guardians, teachers, administrators, and employees to pledge ongoing support of the 2025 Red Ribbon Week theme, Life is a Puzzle, Solve It Drug-Free. Madam President, I leave this resolution in the hands of the board.
You said 1998 and it says 1998 in the resolution, but I looked it up because I was a child. I had Red Ribbon Week. And so I just looked it up and it says 1988 online. And I'm wondering, can we or should we correct that? And then how do I do that? I'm sorry, Madam President, on Robert's Rules of Order. I'd want to confirm that. So I just looked it up,
Yeah, make a motion.
that it was founded in 1988. Oh yeah, but on it says, yeah. Okay, so I move that I move that we approve resolution 2526-25 with the edit of the year 1998 to 1988.
Second.
So we have a motion by trustee Nzewi with a second by trustee Lawrence to approve resolution 25/26-25 in support of Red Ribbon Week with an edit in the document to change the date 1998 to 1988. Does everyone understand the motion? Okay. Trustee Barrera Oriana, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you. And the motion to adopt the resolution in support of Red Ribbon Week 2025 is approved on a 5-0-0-0 vote with support from our student trustee. 10.2, Dr. Clark.
Yes, I have a series of resolutions here around well, the first one is variable term waivers, and we are asking the board to consider resolution 25/26-26 variable term waiver for an administrator.
I move to approve resolution 25/26-26 for variable term waivers.
I'll second.
So we have a motion by trustee Mason with a second by trustee McDougall to approve the board resolution 25/26-26 for personnel with variable term waivers. Does everyone understand the motion? Trustee Barrera Oriana, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you. And the motion on the personnel variable term waivers is adopted on a 5-0-0-0 vote with support from our student trustee. We're ready for 10.3. Dr. Clark.
Yes, and this is Resolution 25/26-27, and this is to authorize local assignment options. And this is something we do with our teachers below ninth grade. And so we are asking that you consider approving 10 teachers that we have who are going to be teaching English, Spanish, or mathematics.
Madam President, I move that the board approve item 10.3, approval of board resolution 25/26/27 to authorize local assignment options.
I'll second.
So we have a motion by trustee Lawrence with a second from trustee Barrera Oriana regarding the resolution 25/26-27 to authorize local assignment options 5 Education Code 44258.2. Further discussion? Trustee Barrera Oriana, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you. And the motion is adopted on a 5-0-0-0 vote regarding agenda item 10.3. 10.4, Dr. Clark.
Yes, Madam President, this is Resolution 25/26-28 to authorize local assignment. This is very similar. However, the previous ones I listed held either a single subject or a standard credential. These three individuals hold a multiple subject or a standard credential. And so we have 3 teachers here, 2 for mathematics and 1 for science, all middle school.
Madam President, I move that the board approve item 10.4, board resolution 25/26-28 to authorize local assignment options.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion by trustee Lawrence with a second by trustee Mason regarding resolution 25/26-28 to authorize local assignment options. Is there further discussion? Trustee Barrera Oriana, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you. And the motion is adopted on a 5-0-0-0 vote for resolution 25/26-28. Dr. Clark, then
Madam President, I have Resolution 25/26-29, which is provisional internship permit. And so we have 1 teacher who's going to be working in special education who is being authorized to apply for a provisional internship permit.
Madam President, I'd like to move that we approve Resolution 25/26-29 for personnel with provisional internship permits.
Second.
so we have a motion by trustee McDougall with a second by trustee Nzewi regarding resolution 25/26-29 for personnel with provisional internship permits. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Madam President, I would just like to say with all these resolutions, these employees are making a commitment that they, that they're going to do certain things, whether it is obtaining additional credits or permits, or if they're going to teach outside of what their credential requires them to do. So they're making commitments that they will do this. And so I just want to say in the package, we have an administrator, 14 teachers and a special education person. But the last one is the special education person.
And we applaud them and thank them
Yes.
all for their
Yes.
efforts. Any further discussion? Trustee Barrera Oriana, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you. And the motion is adopted on a 5-0-0-0 vote for resolution 25/26-29. Thank you. We're ready to remove to move to reports and information. Dr. Clark.
Yes, we're extremely excited to welcome up Dr. Heather Fontanella. You know, in our LCAP goals, it says to prepare every student for college and career. And and I know that college gets a lot of credit and a lot of attention. We do want, and I want to be crystal clear with this, we do want all of our students to be eligible if they so choose to attend college, but we know that may not be reality for all, so we want them to have other options. And I just have to say that the Mount Diablo Unified School District Career Pathways Program, I would put it up against any program in the state and even nationally at that point. And you know, today was a wonderful day. And I know Dr. Fontanella is going to introduce our guests and highlight just a small portion of the great things that happen in that department. So, Dr. Fontanella.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. Thank you, Board Trustee President Mayo and the rest of the board. We really appreciate the opportunity to speak here with you tonight. The reason we asked to speak with you is because we want to highlight the work that Sheila Burgum has been doing over at Concord in helping us to organize the Career Education Fair. And then we also have an exciting event that's happening that we wanted to invite you to. So just to kind of introduce, so you guys know me, Heather Fontanella. We're very fortunate to have with us tonight Mike Marcus from the Torlakson Whole Child Institute. He's going to share with you the work that we're doing for Parent Education Night. And then also Sheila Burgum, I'm going to give her an opportunity to talk just a little bit about our Career Education Fair. As Dr. Clark said, the work that we're doing in the College and Career Readiness Department is very much rooted in the LCAP goals. The idea that we have to prepare all students for college and career. So even students that are who in their mind are going straight into a 4-year education, they benefit from being part of our Career Pathways program. They benefit from seeing all the different career options that are available to them as they're making this choice. And as I was talking to Trustee McDougall today, the goal is to get the idea of career exploration down even into our elementary schools. So we're firmly rooted in our LCAP goals. As you can see, also college and career readiness is part of the CCEE kind of framework that we follow in the district for educational equity. A lot of the work that we're doing does focus on schools with our higher numbers of students who are historically underrepresented, but we work across the district to support students in their college and career readiness. So I'm going to let Sheila talk a lot more than me about this, but this idea of a career education fair came about probably in my second year in this position. I had the benefit of going to a women in trades event, and I learned a lot that I didn't know about trade unions. And so I started to think, how can we get this information in front of the kids in a more explicit way than just relying on our teachers to do it? Because I'd taught at Mount Diablo High School for 16 years and knew nothing about the opportunities within our trade unions. So I reached out to the people that organize the college fair that we have happening next week, which is a great event. But they said, no, we can't have a table for the unions at the college fair. They said if the unions want to sponsor a table to provide some money, they do it. And so I was like, well, we got to figure this out. Right. And so thankfully I found a willing partner in Sheila, and we were like, let's try something. Let's just throw it out and see if we can get something going. And that first event we did in the evening, and we had about 28 industry partners there, and maybe 30 students showed up. So it didn't match what we wanted to accomplish at all. So now I'm going to turn it over to Sheila so she can kind of talk about the work that you've done to build this up.
Okay, great. Yeah, it's really a story of evolving, you know, as we've gone through the years. We did that year, and then I don't know if we did a second year there, but then COVID hit. We did an online event where we had breakout rooms with the trades. So we survived that. Then we moved into the small gym at Concord High School, and I think we packed that at 38 organizations, and some trades, and then some organizations that have to do with our other pathways, culinary, et cetera, medical. So we did that. And then we just grew out of that. And so we had to move to the large gym, and that's where we've been for the last maybe 3 years. And we've grown to almost 50 organizations. A couple didn't show today. But students have been able to come through, and because of the grant money that Dr. Fontanilla has to bus all of our students that are interested to come from all of our high schools in the district, it's grown to over 1,000 students. Also with Concord High juniors and seniors that have come through. So it's really, dare I say, fun. It's fun for me because I like thinking about this. But I think that the students have, kind of seen the other opportunities available to them. And not to say that with the trades, they can't start at an entry level and then decide. I know somebody from Local 342 that went back and got his degree in construction management. So it's a good starting point, especially for our students that have these skills that are, really interested in, always anchored by our trades program. So it's kind of full circle that we're heading back to the multi-use room on November 5th, on Wednesday, November 5th, and opening that opportunity up to families and parents so that they understand really the wonderful opportunities available. So that's kind of the story. Yeah. Okay, good.
And as Sheila mentioned, we use some of our CTE incentive grant funds to pay for the buses. So each high school had 2 buses. Northgate had 1, but we were happy that we got a good representation from Northgate. And then we've expanded to include all of the alt ed sites now participate in this. So we're really excited about that. So as we've mentioned, how else are we working to expose students to the trades, recognizing that we do need to get it down at a younger level. And so 2 years ago, we started the middle school CTE fair. And the intent of this is, one, yes, to start the kids starting to think about potential careers within alternatives from the 4-year college education. But also we really wanted to expose the kids to the pathways that we have at all of our high schools. So last year was pretty successful. We had, I think, at least one pathway from each of the high schools representing each of the industry sectors that we have in the district. So that is super exciting. And then we began partnering with the Torlakson Whole Child Institute about 2 years ago, taking middle school students to the trade unions. And Mike just told me we had 8 middle school visits. 2 of the middle schools went twice. So that's huge. So we're going to continue to grow that partnership. Before I turn this over to Mike to talk about our November 5th event, I do want to introduce behind me. He didn't make it onto the slides because we weren't sure if we were going to have an alumni come and speak about his experience in the trade unions, but we do have Dylan Woodhall. He's with the Plumbers and Steamfitters Local 342. And he is a College Park alumni. So we asked if he could just say a few words about his experience transitioning from high school into the union. I know he went to DVC, participated in the MC3 program there that's sponsored by the CTWI, Construction Trades Workforce Initiative, who's partnering with us. And we actually are working. We joined in the County Office of Ed's K-12 Strong Workforce Program grant that would allow us to bring that program to Concord High School. So I do want to give Dylan a few minutes just to kind of share his experience.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. How you guys doing? My name is Dylan Woodhall, and like was just mentioned, I graduated from College Park High. And I went through the DVC MC3 program, and it definitely, helped me out in a big way. It changed my life for sure. Look at where I'm at now, right? But if I would have known, about the MC3 in high school, that would have made a huge difference. And by this time, age 23, I would probably be already journeyed out, which is after my 5-year apprenticeship program. And, that would have been major, right? I'm currently a 2nd-year apprentice with Local 342. And right out of high school, I started remodeling kitchens and bathrooms. So I kind of got my hands on, a bunch of different trades. And I felt like it was really hard to get good at everything. So I kind of wanted to hone in on one skill. And so that's when my mom, Jennifer in the back, she pushed me to go to DVC. And thanks, Mom. Anyway, she wanted me to shout her out. So that's what I considered. But anyway, um, yeah, so I thought, let me hone in on one thing. She kind of made me join the MC3 program, but once I got into it, it was wonderful. It was hands-on, it was cool. We got to learn about every aspect of construction, building trades, math courses, OSHA 30 certification. So it was a big deal, and it definitely helped me out. It was actually one less class I had to take in my apprenticeship, so that was cool. Um, but yeah, I started my apprenticeship at 21, and kids can start right out of high school, 18 years old. You go apply, take the test, go take an interview, see how well you do. And not just with 342, a lot of different local unions around here. I'm with 342 representing, obviously. But yeah, I'm also really excited about the Building Trades Parent Night on November 5th. I myself will be there. And, I went to an outreach a few months back at it's a trade school in Oakland, Cypress Mandela, if you guys are familiar with that. And it was pretty cool, to be offered, the opportunity to come and give back. I love giving back. I always go to all my meetings, all the apprentices like, I'm not going, I'm tired. I woke up at 3:30 this morning and I'm here, right? So it's big for me to give back. But yeah, hold on, I got some notes here. I haven't spoken in a mic in a long time. Probably already passed the 2-minute warning. So I don't know. But the event matters because it's a great chance, to meet union professionals and learn firsthand about career opportunities, pay, and excellent benefits. Students can discover how to prepare for apprenticeship programs, from improving basic math skills to gaining hands-on experience straight out of high school. They will also learn about the MC3 program apprenticeship course at DVC, which is open to high school students, and hopefully this program can come to MDUSD as well. So, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Okay, so now I want to turn it over to Mike Marcus. He's going to spend just a few minutes talking about the parent night that we're planning on November 5th, and invite you to it.
Okay. Also, by the way, it's a Jewish holiday, so I'm not talking directly into the mic intentionally, just so you know. Hopefully you can hear me. We have a half hour to go in the holiday, but so be it. At any rate, I'm here because of Tom Torlickson. Tom Torlickson is an amazing person. As for some of you may know, he was a student teacher at Pine Hollow. He was a teacher at Pacifica, which was a high school in those days, and he went on to become a teacher at Mount Diablo, but he got into politics. He did pretty good, and as you probably know, he was Tony Thurman's predecessor running the state school system. So after his 2 terms, Tom realized that there were some things that he still wanted to focus on that he hadn't really totally, felt were there. And one of them was definitely hands-on learning, particularly at middle school. The fact that there used to be, which I went to Oak Grove myself. I took metal shop, I took wood shop, no more. So that was the genesis of this idea that Heather was referring to, of bringing middle school kids to the union training centers. So we've actually been working with 10 school districts already. We're expanding it to Southern California now. But Tom's in this county, we're in this county, so we've been very robust with you guys, with the 8 middle schools. Are going to be doing a lot more. But Tom realized that even though we're exciting middle schoolers, the key is going to be exciting their parents. So he said, we really need to do something for the parents. So that led into the genesis of doing this parents' night with the union trades. And I got to say, it's just been an amazing partnership. Obviously, Superintendent Clark, opened the door for us, and then with Chris Clausen and Heather now, and Sheila is amazing, by the way. It's been an incredible partnership to pull this together. We're probably about 575 people already pre-registered. with 3 weeks to go, which is pretty good for a, a weeknight parasite. We are we, the unions, are incentivizing it, with free dinners, etc. We all hope you can come. There's a special reception, 5 to 6. The idea is that parents at one stop can learn all these trades. We're going to have, 9 trades there. We're going to have a whole meet women in trades. We're having all tradeswomen up there where girls can go up and talk one-on-one with these women. So it'll be a very interactive, exciting event. So thank you, Heather, for bringing your team and Superintendent Clark and everybody else, and Dylan, wherever Dylan is. So that's it, and we hope to see you on November 5th.
So I handed out the invitation that Mike created. So there is a special reception for we hope to have elected officials there, and we're inviting all of you to it to join us. It will be starting at 5 o'clock in Concord's College and Career Office in the library. Dinner will be provided to the people that come. So we hope you can join us, and I think that's it. Are there any questions?
Heather, I want to commend you and your staff. It was an excellent function this morning. And I went to all the booths, even the outside ones. And it was great to see these guys using front end loaders and that sort of stuff to get this stuff done and exciting them. And it was interesting because the guys in the middle weren't the trades, but I went around and talking to them, I said, we need to get your information into the hands of younger kids. Let's go back to 6th grade, which is 11 and 12-year-olds. So they start thinking about this and realizing that there are options for them other than college that they can do. And we want them to be able to be aware of this by the time they get to that high school trade fair that we had today, so that they're planning after they graduate from high school. It was interesting when I went along the wall where the tradespeople were, the reception from them wasn't as good. It was like, hey, we already do this stuff. We're taking them over to our tradespeople and that sort of thing. So they weren't as receptive to going younger because they're already doing it. So that's great. But I wanted to enthuse the rest of them to kind of talk to the younger kids and to the parents, your point there, because we need to motivate the parents and the kids to realize that they can have a great future after they graduate from high school. They don't need to go to college. They don't need to get into debt. They don't need to, and they can earn good money. I mean, looking at the salary schedules as you walked around, it's like, dang, I wish I was a kid now because I'd be earning that sort of stuff. But nonetheless, I think what you're doing is admirable because we need to excite not only the kids, but the parents, that we want to get all the kids educated, not just those going to college. We want to get everybody excited about what they can do to be productive citizens once they graduate. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Lawrence?
I think Trustee McDougall said it very well. A couple quick things. I know for the longest time, Tom Torlixon always made sure to mention that he was on leave from Mount Diablo. I don't know if he's still, but that was always fun. To Dylan, you should always listen to advice from your mom. So,
That's my best.
yes. And I think one of the really interesting trends that I see is with the rise of AI, that these jobs are going to be even more important and offering these opportunities to our students. Because as Trustee McDougall highlighted, there's an opportunity at 18, 19 years old to be making really good money, to have a path to a highly skilled career that people get a lot of enjoyment and fulfillment out of. And I think this is not merely a, oh, you're not going to college. This is something that people are embracing and should be embracing. And I think this is a real path. And certainly when you look at the cost of college and the amount of student debt that many students take on, that this is just a fantastic option. And so the more we can promote this within our district, I just commend you all. Thank you so much for the presentation and all the efforts. Thank you.
Further comments? Ms. Nzewe?
Thank you, Dr. Fontanier, and everyone, and to Dylan's mother. Thank you for one who gives the shout out to prove that sometimes parents know what they're talking about. to their young adult children. Because even now, as I have an older teenager who doesn't know that I know what I'm talking about, who did go to the career fair today. So I picked her up from school and she had her swag. She had a bag and she's like, I got free stuff. But she complained that she only got to stay for an hour. So I think that's good. Like she complained that she only got to stay for an hour and was annoyed at that. And not because she wanted to be away from school. She's like, they wanted us to go all the booths. How is it supposed to go all the booths in an hour? And I had another point and I don't know what it was. Oh, I know. I have it up here. I have the slide up to remind me. But it was right before. On the 8th grade CTE fair, January 8th, that's going to promote the high school pathways. I'm curious if that's too late I don't remember when the deadline is to like change your school. And if that's too late.
That's a good point. We've never really thought about it in terms of transferring schools. We moved it before we had it in February, and then we moved it to January because we were trying to get in the time when they were doing course cards, but we haven't thought about it. So that's something that I'll take into consideration because I know that there are programs that some schools offer that other schools don't. So thank you.
I would just like to add, I was fortunate enough to attend today, and I was able to get like a little bag of stuff. And I think it was great to see all the different pathways after high school to really explore your options. I know there was freshmen and sophomores there, which is great. I mean, the earlier you can see your pathways, the more you can choose what you want to do in the future. It was just great to be there.
And I attended and it was, I thought, one of the best. The kids were really engaged, the adults were really engaged. And so I've always been a big fan of the trades. And I always tell the kids I work with, you can start on that level. And then if you really think you want to own your own business, you'll know it from the bottom up, which is the best way to go into business. So I think that's where our friend back there is going to be headed in his own business soon. So thank you all. And I plan to be there for the event in November. So again, thank you. And I actually went to high school when Torlakson was teaching there.
So I was also at the event today and it was amazing. What heartwarming is when the students entered the room and to hear the volume in the room increase because the conversations were happening at tables throughout the room. And of course, you had the trades there, but there was also all of our military groups were there. The Coast Guard was there as well. The Conservation Corps was there. I was pleased to see the variety for our students. And this isn't to take it away from the trades, but it shows the breadth that's available in our community. And our goal, many of us have heard and said ourselves, we want our students to identify with careers that benefit our own community in turn. And so they're paying back to the community. So it was a great event. And yes, the outside experiences were great. I saw some young women working the heavy equipment and look out, guys, we can handle it just as well as they can. And I had estimated 55, you said 50, so I was close. It was a great opportunity for our students today. And thank you for all of your work, Sheila, in organizing it. Okay.
Yeah, and I just want to again thank you as we, Sheila, I'm a great fan, and we should, as a district, what I'm really proud of that we do in this district is there's something for everybody here, and there's definitely young people who benefit from these experiences, and I'm just so thankful that we do that. I'm really glad you brought Dylan here this evening. His mother, she didn't mention, but she's an ex-employee. So she, so she knows the Mount Diablo way. And, but it's just when we get to hear from young people about the impacts that certain things have, that's real important. And and we'd like to, get you in front of students and stuff. So I'm excited you'll still be helping out, and you guys, when I came over to the whatever you call it, the yard, the shop, the hall, or whatever that was over there, and seeing those students engaging in welding and all that stuff. When you called me on the phone that first time, I wasn't quite sure, but to see it all come together has been real exciting. So hopefully we get some more out there. So yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Into this use.
Yeah.
At night, guys like Dylan are going, but daytime.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. Well, thank you, Dr. Fontanelli.
Laura, too.
Yes.
I just wanted to also just address Trustee McDougall with regard to the younger years. So we are using the California Colleges Guidance Initiative, the californiacolleges.edu platform in our district, and it goes down into the 6th through so it's 6th through 12, and we are embedding it into the tier 1 supports that the students are getting. So we are starting that career exploration a little bit, but we hope to deepen it.
So would you repeat the invitation one more time
Yes.
for our listening audience?
Yes. So we are doing a trades night for parents where they get to come and learn about the different trade unions in our area. We'll have 9 unions present. It runs from 5:30 to 7:30, and it's at Concord High School, and it will be out in the main parking lot. Fingers crossed, no rain. And then dinner will be provided in the multi-use room. And then for elected officials, school board members, there is a reception that begins at 5 in the College and Career Center.
And students are welcome to come with their families.
Students are welcome to come with their families.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you so much.
Excellent presentation. We're ready to move to board member reports. Mrs. Mason, would you like to?
You guys can escape now.
Thank you. Good night.
Appreciate it.
Well, I brought my learn about ag cut that I got my husband and I presented at the ag and California Ag in the Classroom conference that they had in Sacramento. And the only reason I'm sharing that is because in doing that, realized we're very, very fortunate to have as many gardens and administrators that are open to gardening, because the people that attend my session are always like, how did you get the foot in the door? How did you get them to let you do it? So it's always kind of the ABCs of school gardens. So I appreciate the fact that Mount Diablo was a front runner in that and continues to be so. And then I went to the Concord High School African American parent meeting that they had, which was very well attended and very uplifting. And I'm looking forward to going to more of those in the future. I went to El Dorado on Monday. They had CARES had the intercession. And unfortunately, I think because a lot of parents probably had Monday off, there wasn't a lot of kids there. But it was really funny because they were talking about Lights On, which is coming up in October. On October 23rd, there's a nationwide celebration that they do for Lights On. And I used to always try to think outside the box. So I was telling them, well, when I was doing the after school program, I had all the kids go out on the football field with, and I know some of us will remember this, with a white piece of paper, and do the shape of a light bulb. And then at the right time, they turned it over to yellow and the lights came on. And I don't think they believed me because they kept saying, do you have a picture? I said, well, I had got a pilot. So I do have a picture. The pilot went over and took the picture. He was so impressed with it, he ended up not charging us for flying over and taking the picture. So that's coming up this month, the Lights On. And then I went to the budget meeting last night, and Mount Diablo High School received a check from the Concord Chamber for the Serendipity program to try to get that revved up again. So I went to that yesterday. And then what else did I go to? Oh, and then I have Concord High School down here. What did I do at Concord High School?
Career fair today.
Oh, the career fair today. So that's been what I've been up to. And I guess that's it. They gave such a good presentation. I have that much to say about it. It was wonderful.
Trustee Nzewi.
just before fall break. I don't know, it was either Thursday or Friday. It was literally right before fall break. I had the opportunity and privilege to spend time with Mrs. Meg Honey's ethnic studies class and the Black Student Union, the Black Student Union meeting and then ethnic studies class. And how, and they like some of them, they got my whole life story, my leadership journey and whatnot. Um, and ask questions. And what felt good about it that I've held on to, it's been 2 weeks now, I think, is in these very dark, dark times, with the questions that were asked and the thoughts that were shared, is that like the future is in the hand of our children, and I think in the hand of our children, we will be all right. Like the adults today, we kind of suck, but the children that well, we admittedly have raised, like we should have hope. Um, yeah. So then it was fall break, I think. So yeah, that's
And
it.
you've been busy.
Yeah, I have outside of everything. I mean, outside of this, have been busy, but that was it. That was my highlight. That is all I have to report. I did go to my own APAC meeting though, so then that was good. Similar, I mean, sure, similarly energized.
Trustee Barrera Oriana, what would you like to share with us?
On October 1st, I had the pleasure of hosting the first student advisory committee for the year. It was amazing to see and hear all the diverse input from the students. Some highlights of the meeting was definitely the open discussion. The first question I asked them was, "What are some highlights by your school?" From Concord High, the representative said they was their award-winning band in their college or career center. From Mount Diablo, they said it was their online famous math teacher, their large Filipino club, and also they had a great college and career center. For Northgate, it was a great leadership program that hosts lots of events. They have a mentor program, great performing arts, and lots of clubs on campus. For YV, they have a international baccalaureate program, which is the only one in the county. They have a ed academy for students wanting to become teachers. Another highlight was their great robotics program. For College Park, they had an active student body. They have easy access to dual enrollment because DVC is straight across the street, and they have a biomed program. Lots of AP classes are offered. They have a strong music program. The second question I asked them was, how does your school recognize student achievement? At College Park, they have a student spotlight, and they recently did one for the students who got to the semifinal of the National Merit Competition. They also have artwork shown in art galleries. They have honor roll ice cream. They honor their Olympic alumni. There are 2 Olympic alumni, and they have senior awards. At Northgate, they have Summit Awards, Senior Awards, and National Honor Society. At Concord High School, their Link Crew program celebrates freshmen in many different ways, but they hope to have an honor roll in the coming years. And at Ignatia Valley, they say they struggle on the student recognition or student achievement side to recognize them. For Mount Diablo, they have a movie night and food trucks for honor roll students. And the third question I asked was a topic you want to discuss in future meetings? The most common answer was yonder pouches. And overall, it was a great first meeting, and I'm looking forward to future meetings.
Great. Thank you for the report. Mr. McDougall.
Thank you, Madam President. September 27th, I went to the Educating Together on that Saturday morning at the Mount Diablo Adult Education Center. Very well done, as well as these guys did this morning. And it was really interesting because they were talking about CTE, they were talking about cyberbullying. The police did a good presentation on what they should be aware of and how they can get into teenagers' telephones and affect them with bullying stuff. And so I thought that was very good for the police department to do that. They had a trade show, and so it went over very well. I went to a Westwood Elementary PTA meeting on September 30th, and I hope to attend more, but then last week we had the school break, so that prevented it. On October 7th, I went to the event that honored the second anniversary of the horrific Hamas attack on Israel. We were over the Highway 24 overpass in Lafayette with a lot of signs and a lot of honking of cars going underneath. But it was good because they were hoping for the release of the remaining hostages at that time. And my notes say that they occurred days later. Well, they're still waiting for all the hostages now. So that's still an ongoing problem. And I just was very honored to be with a lot of Jewish people there over on the overpass. And I thank Mark Marcus for coming tonight on his High Holy Day to give us his presentation. On the 14th of October, there were three things: Chamber of Commerce check presentation at two schools, Concord High, Monte Diablo. Thank you, Chamber, for those $1,000. We hope that it gets more in the future, because that's a great way to start seed programs that way. We did the budget study session here last night, and I have to thank Brian because he asked all the questions, and I just kind of sat there and listened because it was very educational for me as well. And went home and attended the Mountain View PTA PFC meeting via Zoom, and that's unique. The Zoom meetings, I've forgotten what they were like since COVID. But they get real good at these. And then today, the career education fair this morning at Concord High School. So quite a busy time, even though we had a week off.
Mr. Lawrence.
First, I'd like to commend our student trustee on pulling that group together. And I would just reiterate, I would love to see our student leaders from our various high schools, if we could have them come here to this meeting, because that was previously a highlight hearing from them directly. So I would put that in. Two, I again would thank staff for putting together the study session on the budget yesterday. I think I certainly, it was incredibly helpful for me, and sounds like for other board members as well. One of the things that I've gotten multiple questions on was people have asked if why can't the district simply take the COLA that will be coming to the district and put that towards salaries? And I think one of the things that we covered last night was the fact that the cost for the district, if you just look at increased costs for special ed and benefits, that's already $8 million for the upcoming year. And so of that $12 million, which is what roughly would come from COLA, 8 million of it is already spoken for. So now instead of 12 million, you're looking at 4 million. And so for the district even to give a raise for the current year that equates to COLA, that's going to go into what is currently a operating deficit, and we'll have to find the funds somewhere. And so that it's not quite as straightforward as just taking the COLA and applying it to student salaries, to teacher salaries and employee salaries. So I thought that was useful. And then just as a reminder that I'm sure many people are aware, November 4th is a special election coming up. Prop 50 will be on the ballot. I would encourage people to look very closely at this and consider supporting Prop 50, in part because the impact that we are seeing on the federal level. One of the things that's really stuck with me was when Superintendent Clark shared around our bridge program and the cuts to that. And I think that is one of the most unconscionable things. And as we see the assault on special education, on school lunch programs, and these repeated cuts that are coming to finance tax cuts for billionaires. And so this is an opportunity to balance that and for us to protect our kids in this district. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Excellent comments. Many of you have spoken about some of the events that I attended. I did go to the Adult Educating Together conference. It was an outstanding event, and I want to thank everyone that was involved in it. It is a huge lift. It's something that requires a whole year of planning. And there were outstanding speakers, and it was I guess I'm just always proud to be able to attend and represent Mount Diablo at that event. On the 13th, I attended the expanded learning program, Tyson Night Art Experience, and it was open to all Mount Diablo Unified School District students. I came away being very impressed with Mr. Knight. He's an excellent role model for our students. During the event, he provided comments to each student's artwork. There was a drawing to work on. He made recommendations on technique, but he never criticized how the students were drawing, which is very important. And he praised each artist during the progress. His demeanor and his positive approach engages our unit and our youth, and I want to applaud our expanded learning program for bringing him to all of the different schools to work with our students. And from what I heard, he has made an impression with our middle school students. So this is another means to engage students to come to school and then go to the after school program, which is very important. And he's also a good artist, beside the fact. The Concord Chamber did present 2 checks, one for the construction pathway to educator Tom Trowbridge and Principal McKinnon at Concord High School, and Serendipity Culinary Art Program, Chef Pays and Principal McCain at Mount Diablo High School. I know that we must always remember to thank our business community for their donations. They work hard. Of course, they have spaghetti feeds or bake sale nights where they raise these funds. But the thought is always with our students and how they can support public education. So please remember to thank a Concord Chamber member when you meet them and acknowledge their contribution. At the career fair today, I already spoke about the students and how heartwarming it was to hear the volume in the room increase as the conversations were evolved. And it's remarkable to me also that we have women and men alike participating in the hands-on activities that were presented, including the heavy equipment operation. That would be my favorite, so we'll look out. We have some upcoming events that are going to be occurring. Tomorrow night is the African American Parent Advisory Committee meeting for district-wide for all parents at 6 p.m. at Willow Creek Center. On the 21st is the Special Education Community Advisory Committee meeting at 7 p.m. here at Dent Center in this room. On the 23rd is the DLAC meeting, the District Learner Advisory Committee meeting at 5:30 at Willow Creek Center. October 23rd is the annual college fair at Ignacio Valley High School, beginning at 6 p.m. and it's for Mount Diablo High School students only. Mount Diablo Unified School District students only and their parents. And then on the 28th, we have the Parent Advisory Committee meeting at 5:30 at Willow Creek Center. I also want to remind you that the Contra Costa Schools Boards Association is having a meeting on November 3rd. That's the day before the election at 6 p.m. at Akalani's Union High School District office. And we have a special speaker. You've received one invitation, and watch out for the subsequent invitations regarding the event. At our last meeting, I talked about the increases that the district has provided towards our employee groups and Medea in particular, and I misspoke. I need to make a correction. The actual total amount is 21% since October 2023. The first one was October 2023 was a 9%. On August 17th, 2022, there was a 1.5% increase, and on April 13th, 2022, there was a 10.5% increase. So I want to acknowledge that I was 1.5% under the mark. And it's thanks to the work that our negotiations team and Dr. Clark has done in providing recommendations within our budget that we can recognize the work of our employees. So that concludes my report, except I do want to thank everyone that was involved with the career fair today, and also it's a pre-thank you to the folks that are working on the college fair at Ignacio Valley High School. These take untold hours, many phone calls, many emails back and forth, delivering food to the sites to make sure all the presenters are well fed, and creating that environment where families and students feel welcome. And it's important for our community. So thank you for all of your efforts. So Dr. Clark.
Thank you, Madam President and trustees, for those reports. I just have a couple things tonight. First of all, I want to, I'm very proud that as a district that we were bold enough to implement a fall break. I know that for some it causes it causes childcare issues and things like that, but a fall break is very much needed. I've run into several employees, and they were ones who, not unlike us, who had to work during fall break, but they were ones who had it off, and they said that it was a great time to re-energize. Also talked to an employee today at the career fair who the family was able to take a short vacation during this time, and it's just very important. And I bring that forward because we've just completed our 44th day of school, and we've had close to 27 mental health calls for students on our campus. And so the challenges and the stress that our students face each and every day is real, and also the challenges and stress that that often employees who support those students feel is real. So I'm happy that we have the fall break, and it's something that hopefully we can continue with. Something that I feel is not spoken about enough, and not enough energy is given towards it, but something that I take extremely serious, and really does keep me up at night. One of the many things, but I'll just talk about this one, is our standardized test scores. So standardized test scores were released by the state of California on October 9th at 10 a.m. And by 11:22 a.m., I had sent a full report to every single employee and every single family in the district. I had every school, well, let me take that back. Martha Thomas, our tech person, our data person, I don't know all right. Martha Thomas, our data analysis professional administrator, helped put those charts together for me. But every single family, every employee got a list of every school and their progress on standardized tests. I also sent out a document that had every single student group and how they have performed on the standardized test. Although standardized testing is only 1/3 of what we measure our students on, it is important, and it is what gets published in the paper. It is what drives home prices, and it is a factor of students getting into college, being able to pass those standardized tests. And surprise, surprise, if you want to go into the trades, guess what you got to take? A standardized test. So I take these tests extremely serious. And when you look at our data, we have certain student groups that have historically been left behind. And I just find that unacceptable. And so I may get pushback, but I'm going to continue pushing high expectations for all students, every last one of our students, regardless of background, ethnicity, religion, gender, whatever. They should be held to the highest standards as we do every last one of our students. And so surprisingly, no one came beating down my door about those test scores I sent out. No one was appalled. No one was excited. I got one comment about the test scores. So that's fine. I will continue to push it out there. I'll continue to make that a topic of conversation. I noticed that we have an empty room here tonight, except district staff. But that's something that I would love to have more dialogue about. I'd love to talk more about how we can highlight many of the great things happening in our classrooms. We have some amazing things happening. We have some employees who are doing great things with our students. And I want to elevate those folks and use them as models of this is how you make all students feel welcome. This is how you hold all students to high standards. This is how you scaffold. This is how you teach. This is how you reteach. This is how you praise when students do well. So that is something that, although the masses, it may not excite the masses, but it excites me. I am also excited of the many schools in our district that demonstrated growth. They all know who they are. They've been recognized. And also, I appreciate the schools that didn't show growth and their willingness to look in the mirror at the things that they're doing and to find ways that they can continue to push all students, so that they can reach their maximum potential. So just excited about the opportunity to measure what it is that we do. Kids come to school every single day for 6 hours, 6.5 hours or so. And this is just one measurement that we use, but we ought to talk about it. We ought to celebrate it. At the next board meeting, I will be presenting our data formally to this board and to the public and to whoever wishes to stay on that night. But it's something that I want to go on record on. It's something that, I want to make sure that our parents and our students understand their progress. So with that, it's today's October 15th, and the holidays and winter break is right around the corner, and I'm just hoping that we can remain focused, we can remain safe, we can remain punctual, and we can get through these next couple months putting our students at the center of everything that we do. Thank you.
And yesterday in our budget study session, you mentioned Gregory Gardens Elementary School and the information that was provided about the test scores. I happened to see it in my Facebook feed today, and it is excellent. The charts were spoke to the scores at Gregory Gardens, and then invited families to participate in changing students' outcomes. And it was very inviting and colorful. Yeah. So we're ready to move on to the consent agenda. Dr. Clark, are we polling 1415, I believe it was. Yes, okay. Do trustees have any items they would like to pull?
I would make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
So we have a motion by trustee Mason with a second by trustee Nzewi to adopt the consent agenda as presented. Trustee Barrera Oriana, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay. All the items on the consent agenda as amended are adopted on a 5-0-0-0 vote with support from our student trustee. Let's move on to the regular agenda, the business items. 17.1, Dr. Clark.
Yes, we're bringing this forward as info action. And these are, we're asking for review and potential approval of board policy 6146.1. And we just want to clarify this is a graduation policy. And we originally, as we updated all of our policies, there were 3 different graduation policies. So what we've done is we've combined those. We have our special Mount Diablo ways of some of those, but we just reverted to mainly to the CSBA recommended with with taking those 3 policies and putting them into one. So if there are no questions, then we're seeking potential approval on that. And it is going to update and change as the state is working on that, but that'll come from CSBA.
Right. So I had the opportunity to review them. I'm not sure if everybody else did. Any questions? Would you like to consider taking action tonight, or do you want to delay it to the next meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve the deletion of the redundant BP 6146 and 6146.35 and of revision to BP 6146.1 as presented.
Second.
So we have a motion by trustee Mason with a second by trustee Nzewi to adopt the revisions to board policy 6146.1 in order to clarify our graduation policies. Is there further discussion? Trustee Barrera Oriana, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you.
Just for the record, student board member, this doesn't lighten your load for this year, okay? I just want you to know. You accepted that pretty quick. I'm sorry, President Mayo. I'm sorry, President Mayo. I couldn't help it.
So the motion to approve the amendments to board policy 6146.1 have been adopted on a 5-0-0-0 vote. We're ready for 17.2.
Again, I mean, these ones are just more approval of first read. Okay, Laura, we have one. Yeah. Yes, 1 for approval and 9 for the first read.
I move to approve the revisions to BP 3312 as presented.
I second that.
So we have a motion by trustee Nzewi with a second by trustee McDougall to approve the revisions made to board policy 3312, which was previously presented for review. Are there further comments or discussion? Trustee Barrera Oriana, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you. And the motion is adopted on a 5-0-0-0 vote regarding the revisions to board policy 3312. Dr. Clark, we're ready for the final.
17.3, it's 4 for approval.
So is there a motion for revision to 0420.4.41 AR 0.4 and exhibit 0.41?
Okay, I move to approve BP 0420.4, BP 020.41, AR 0420.4, and E 0420.41 as presented.
Second.
So we have a motion by trustee Mason with a second by trustee Nzewi regarding the revisions to board policy 420.4 and the administrative regulations and the exhibit related thereto. Further discussion? Trustee Barrera Oriana, how do you vote?
Yes.
Thank you. And the motion to adopt these policies as revised is approved on a 5-0-0-0 vote. So we're ready to move on to future agenda items. 21.1, any requests from trustees at this time? Trustee Nzewi?
Yeah, Trustee McDougall has brought up our lack of honoring Military Appreciation Month in May a few times, so I would like to request that we bring that forward in April next year.
Thank you. Anything else? Well, with that, I will adjourn the meeting. I'm not moving an extension. I apologize for laughing. Meeting adjourned at 7:24 p.m. Thank you, everybody, for attending.